Today, more and more young men are becoming obsessed with money. If you would ask an average 15-year-old guy what he wants to do with his life, he will probably tell you that he wants to become rich, fly to Dubai, buy himself a few Lamborghinis or Bentleys, have numerous beautiful girlfriends and sail on a huge yacht. Even though money and wants to become rich always have been present in capitalistic society, nowadays the urge to become ultra successful and thus rich is becoming more and more popular and noticeable among young men. Thus, the idea of becoming ultra rich is very popular among billions of young men, and today I want to talk about why this is happening. First and foremost, the factor that plays a key role in impacting the minds of young adults is social media, since it has more power and impact on children's minds than their parents or school. You spend way more time on your phone scrolling through social media than communicating with your immediate family members. Thus, social media content is becoming the main source of information for you. And what do you see on your phone while scrolling through YouTube videos, TikToks or Instagram feed? You see things that you like and care about. Social media and its algorithms are constructed in such a way that they know what you care about. That is how young men are becoming trapped in the endless loop of cool guys in cool cars telling them how to become rich and successful. Thousands of influencers are telling you that it is very easy to become successful and thus rich. In order to become rich, you should visualize your successful life, escape the matrix and of course not to be like everyone else. And when you are 14, 16, 18 or even 20 years old, you don't have enough life experience to realize what is true and what's not. So you can't tell who is lying to you and why. You are very easy to manipulate and lie to, since your young mind is constructed in such a way that it tends to believe things it finds most attractive and entertaining. You don't want to believe that for most of the people, life consists of a 9-to-5 job, paying out a mortgage and taking care of family members. You want to believe that all of these people around you are losers that are not smart enough to become rich and free by figuring out how to escape the matrix. And that is how influencers are getting millions of followers. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying that all of them are liars. A significant part of the things that they are telling is true and good for young men. However, it is all mixed with vague terms of unreal success, which is made to be of the most significant importance ever. So, when growing up, you think that standard ways of making money, such as receiving a good university degree, working at a good position for an employer, getting experience and growing step by step, is a scam, which is not going to do anything good for you. For years, you have been watching content online which told you that you shouldn't be one of them, regular men. You should open a marketing agency and become a millionaire in 2 years. The problem is that you have no idea how to actually make it, since all of these videos and online courses are just telling you that you should be rich, but don't actually provide you with any instruments and knowledge in order to actually do that. I will return to this problem and its possible solution later in this video. But now we will move on to another factor besides social media which is making young men obsessed with the thought of making money. Nowadays, prices are skyrocketing like crazy. Although it always has been the case in the capitalistic society, today's situation is a little bit different. All of you heard that in 20th century essentials such as food, gas prices and housing prices have been significantly more affordable than today. So let's talk about how much more affordable those used to be by taking into account the data about the US housing market. For example, in 1963, the median family income in the US was about $6,000 annually. In 2021, that number reached about $88,000, which is a raise of more than 1,300%. It may seem this is a significant raise, which could cover the rise of the housing prices, but the situation is not as good. Nationally in the US, income rose by 235% and housing prices by 372% between 1984 and 2021. However, locally, prices raises have been way more significant, such as in the state of Massachusetts, where prices rose by 469% while income increased by 221%. Other sources say that housing prices increases outpace inflation by 150% since 1970. Home prices alone have increased by about 1,600% since early 1970, while inflation has increased just for 644% in comparison. Thus, people are seeing a great decline in their purchasing power across the last 5 decades, especially when it comes to home ownership. For example, $20,000 in assorted goods in 1970 would cost you about $148,000 today, but a $20,000 house in 1970 would cost you about $341,000 today. This YouTube channel is not about finance, but I hope that these numbers will provide you with an understanding of how bad the situation really is. So let's fantasize and say that you want to save money for a house. Thus, to afford yourself a house, you will have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, so practically you have to be pretty close to becoming a millionaire in order to just buy a house, which is a necessity, not an option. Otherwise, you would be paying huge mortgage payments or rent price for years. Besides that, prices for products, cars and other stuff are also skyrocketing, so in order to live an average life and afford all of the necessities, especially without taking lots of loans, you have to be pretty wealthy. Moreover, as a young man, you see people around you who got their degrees, studied hard at the university and have a good job, and they're also struggling sometimes, so you realize that this most probably is not the best option for you. That is the moment when you see all of the influencers coming at you with the slogans that all of the people that are working hard at their 9 to 5 are just idiots and you should be escaping the matrix as soon as possible. That is how you are left stressed out and without understanding of what to do next and how to become ultra successful and not to hate your life. I am not a financial advisor or an influencer who is going to sell you a course, unfortunately, but I want to share my story with you. I used to be in a similar situation where I hesitated whether I should follow the traditional path, go to university, or try to open a business and become rich in less traditional and faster way. So what I did is I went to the university, found a real job which is paying me money, and at the same time proceeded with doing things I love and which potentially could make me some big bucks, such as YouTube. The most important thing to remember about any side hustle is that it's not going to make you rich instantly. You will have to grind for months and maybe even years before you will see any kind of result. Moreover, I would like to remind you that while watching all kinds of motivational content, you are getting nowhere. You are not growing, you are not developing, you are not working on any skills that could be monetized. You are just consuming content which makes you think you become better when in reality you don't. The golden rule here is to stop watching and thinking and start doing. However, in order to do something non-traditional such as making content online or creating a marketing agency, you don't have to lead the traditional path, which would provide you with the stable income for your day-to-day life. One more thing that is utmostly important is that you have to believe the process, since most probably for some long time period you are going to be grinding without seeing any significant results. You shouldn't give up. Work, work and work, but never give up. Hard work is the only way to escape the matrix, become different and successful. So don't talk about it, do things and trust the process, since that is how you are going to find success. And thank you for watching. Bye.